Hi, welcome to Professor Kev Show. As you can see, I have my buddy Aharshi with us, and he's from Motion Bloom. Good afternoon, my friend. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm excited to start this off.
So, before we jump in and talk about Motion Bloom, tell me a little bit about yourself as a human being. What should we know about you?
All right, so I'm a rising senior at Panther Creek High School. I love building AI systems, and I love just helping in the community. I also work in my local medical shelter, and I just love interacting with people.
So, tell us a little bit about Motion Bloom. Why'd you all start it? What opportunity? What need did you see?
So we saw that at-home neuro-rehabilitation needed to be reevaluated. We saw that people had to travel miles for expensive rehabilitative therapy and sessions. Especially when it came to my grandparents, they couldn't access their normal physical therapy routines and had to rely on pressing down like a hard ball in order to steady something called tremor. And that is how I came up with Motion Bloom. Motion Bloom is a computer vision framework that uses AI to monitor this thing called tremor. So tremor is basically the oscillatory motion of your hand. So apart if you don't have tremor from a sickly way, if you try to hold something very heavy, hold it up, you will see that your hand kind of vibrates, right? And that is just your nerves signaling your hand that, hey, this is too heavy, you have to let go of this. And in the same motion, people who with cerebral palsy, people with Parkinson's, and all sorts of neuro-rehabilitative disorders have this condition. And that is what we're trying to do here at Motion Room. We try to combine this and monitor tremor using computer vision frameworks and use that as a prediction way to see how your current neurorehabilitative physical therapy is going. Alongside with that, we offer gameplays to help engage your mind, and we also give live statistics on how you're doing over time.
So, talk to me about the process of building that. What were some of the challenges you faced? It seems like it's kind of complicated.
Yeah. First we started with a wristband using a microcontroller. This was a very early prototype of Motion Bloom, but we realized that even a small microcontroller, the cheapest microcontrollers are pieces of chips that can give you coordinates in 3 degrees, basically X, Y, and Z coordinates. We realized those were going to be really expensive, right? Each band that we were making, including a 3D printer, was going to be $100 some, and we decided so that people don't have to just buy it and we don't have to get so many clearances. We said go into computer vision, as that was a very expanding field, as you may know. So first, when we started with our computer vision framework, we used this thing called MediaPipe. If you don't know what MediaPipe is, that is software came up by Google, which basically recognizes your hand in a bunch of sticks in the it forms internal 3D of your hand basically in post track. So we tried that for tremor and realized that failed very badly because the thing is the hand that Google made was meant for things it's meant for general gameplay and things like that. It wasn't meant to track micro movements. And if you look at AI videos have gone in a way is that it's not continuous, but it's frame by frame. So if you've seen someone with the Google Open with the media pipe hand, that's frame by frame calculated, and it just calculates really fast because it got to be trained. However, just to make it look like MediaPipe is also continuous and not going frame by frame, what Google then did, or if you run a software with MediaPipe, it's going to slow down your overall video. We realized we cannot go through this because that gives you translational motion, and that isn't exactly tracking oscillatory motion. So what I first did as a solution was to make a 3D digital twin of your hand, right? So when I say that, what I mean is we took a 3D hand from the internet well, not necessarily from the internet. I constructed one using triangles to make a 3D mesh, which could necessarily like pretty much clone your hand into the screen. And we realized and then we used mathematical injection where the hand would sort of vibrate in a bunch of different moves in a bunch of different positions. And we did this thing called machine learning, and we trained the computer to identify tremors in a much more effective manner. And in fact, in the model now, even if you like vibrate it and then bring your hand up, it can still detect that there's tremor in the same frequency if your hand was still. And that is what we had to do next step forward.
So fast forward, looking out 3 to 5 years, crystal ball time. Where do you see this idea being 3 to 5 years out?
So 3 to 5 years. So I plan to continue this still, of course, in the next 3 to 5 years. I want to connect with more clinicians. I want to get at least 1,000 users onto the platform. Currently, we don't have so many users, but one thing that's very exciting for me to see is that our software is being used in over 8 countries. We're used
Huh?
in I mean, I wouldn't even know it, right? I thought it would just be United States, but no, there's people from Ethiopia, India, and China. They're all using our software, which I publish in the Microsoft app. And that's really great to see, and I can see that people are using it daily, and that's great and all.
Mhm.
We currently got accepted into a investment conference. Well, it was the first ever high schooler to get into Converge South 2026, which was is an investment showcase. Currently, what we're doing right now is connecting ourselves with clinicians, and we're reaching out to retirement homes, sort of that space where nothing has to be too strict, but people would still enjoy this sort of like company around them. So that's where we're expanding to right now, and we hope to expand to rehabilitative centers fast forward 3 to 5 years and get SAMD certification.
That's awesome. So what's the best way for people to reach out to you? How can they learn more?
So the best way to reach out to me is, well, you can message me on my LinkedIn, Aharshi Bhattacharjee. You can message me at aharshi@questify.net. And then, of course, you have my personal email, aharshi.b@gmail.com.
Awesome. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to call into the show. And as always, thanks for being my friend.
Thank you.